I'm a dumb. I'm a human funny dumb. You were and are and have always been the love of my life.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grimm. Time to visit probably my favorite person to react to on this channel. That's right, the infamous Big Head Ed is back. Keep watching to see the new trouble that he's gotten into since filming this show, and we're gonna watch him embarrass himself some more today. Without further ado, let's just jump into it and see what kind of cringy stuff he's gonna make us endure.
So what's up?
Well, you're right. Yeah, it just kind of blew up in my face.
So you might be asking yourself right now, whoa, wait, who is this new girl that's probably also 30 years younger than Ed? And why can't she also stand in his presence? It looks like she's in physical pain being near him. He's not already moved on and gone for another scam marriage, right? And don't worry, folks, I know that's what you were thinking, but this meeting is actually different. This is, believe it or not, Ed's own daughter, who he is estranged from, if I remember correctly, at least in the past couple months while this show has been, going on. They don't sound like they're involved in each other's lives very much, and apparently after his adventures with Rose, he realized it's probably important to reach out to his daughter and apologize for how he's been father-wise. I'm sure he's not the best dad to have around since he's so busy being a new celebrity and all, and I'm sure she feels a little bit shunned by him.
I didn't really understand why you're so upset.
I was upset that you're old enough to be your dad, and I was just like, what are you doing?
Sounds like this girl knew exactly how this relationship would work out, aka it wouldn't, which is true. I mean, it also didn't really take a Nostradamus to figure that one out either. I think it would be hard to get along with Ed no matter what, but take into account the fact that he and Rose speak different languages mainly, are from entirely different cultures across the world from each other, and are from two different generations age-wise, and that just adds a lot of difficulty to any relationship. Obviously, that didn't work out between him and Rose, so now he's got to come back home and admit his L to his daughter just to make her feel a little bit better. I hope she gives him a solid "I told you so," because at this point he definitely deserves it. Imagine how embarrassing it is to have your 50-year-old dad chase down some girl he met online for a TV show, and meanwhile the entire time he's being filmed, he's just making an absolute fool of himself and your family at the same time. I mean, I would just have to personally hide on social media after that. I would not want people to know that that is my own father after some of the stuff that he's pulled on this show. I would be embarrassed to be even related to him.
I tried to warn you.
I had to do it. I had to follow through,
The way he's setting this up, he's acting like this was his destiny to be with Rose, when in reality, it was clear from the jump for both of them that this just simply would not work out. And instead, he spent his whole time really trying to make things work when they just wouldn't. This was not destiny. It was a forced match that they really tried to make happen, but to no avail. It's good that you at least tried, I guess. That could be the one positive you take away from this, but it just did not work. So watch now. He's gonna do the same thing he did with his mother earlier in that last video I made when she picked him up from the airport. He's just gonna lie about the whole situation and act like he is the one you should feel bad for. It's poor Ed, boo-hoo. But in this situation, in reality, it's Rose and this daughter who you should be feeling bad for. I need to always remind you guys of that. He does a good job of brainwashing people and making them feel bad for him when they shouldn't.
And I know I didn't listen to you. I didn't really understand why you're so upset.
Ed, how hard is it to understand why she would be upset? I mean, you have a terrible relationship with your own daughter, and in her adult life, you choose to go against her own wishes and try out this reality TV show where you go and try to find yourself a young wife overseas. It's really just not a good look for you or her family, so I think she's totally within reason to be upset, dude. Once again, Ed's showing here that he has absolutely no self-awareness whatsoever. He just thinks everything that he is doing is good, and it's all for love, but in reality, it's cringy and it makes everyone else uncomfortable. It's okay though, act like you don't know why your daughter's upset. I'm sure you telling her that is going to make her feel a lot better about this. Everyone loves to feel like they're not being heard or understood, and everyone also loves a parent that just simply can't empathize with their child. It's a great look for you right now, Ed.
23? I'm 29. What do you have in common with her?
That's a very good and creepy point to bring up there. Imagine how weird this girl would feel if this relationship with Rose really did work out. She'd have to befriend her stepmom that is now actually 6 years younger than her, and it's clear from looking at the two of them that they had nothing in common, and he really just thought that his charming, suave demeanor that he thinks he has would somehow work and win this woman over. Sadly, it didn't, and he's left wondering why he couldn't connect with a woman 6 years younger than his own kid. Gee, I wonder why, Ed. It's a big question mark there.
Because you were blowing me off and essentially saying F you, I don't gonna do whatever.
Isn't it crazy how every single time we watch a new segment of Ed's story, he somehow finds a way to look bad or just not be the good guy in just about every situation? His daughter is over here crying, actually tears going down her face right now, like he should be hugging her, but instead he's standing here all cold, acting dramatic, practically cut off all ties to her since she wasn't into the idea of him chasing down this non-existent love that he would never ever find with Rose. She knew it wouldn't work out and he disobeyed her wishes. Imagine your own parent just shutting you out of their life because they are immature and want to date someone you've never met that's way younger than you. I would feel so alienated as that person's kid. Like, why don't you care about me enough to listen to my input or how I feel? If she was trying to stop him from having a normal relationship, that would maybe be reason for him to do his own thing and not listen to her, but it's clear she was trying to do the right thing by him and herself, and she's very passionate about this. And the fact that he just threw her feelings to the wayside and shut her out of his life at the same time is pretty gross. Come on, Ed, you're better than that, my dude.
I was selfish. And I'm sorry.
There was a comment below this original upload that honestly cracked me up, and I had to share it with you guys. They basically pointed out how Ed totally acts in these situations as if he's trying out for some dramatic show or soap opera. I mean, the piano and sad editing, of course, doesn't help in any case, but just the way that he looks at people while talking, and it's just so hilarious to me. I get that this is his life, so it's of course important and dramatic for him, but for us, it just looks like some guy who is trying really hard to sound like Edward from Twilight all the time. Maybe if he showed some genuine emotions and actually listened to what his daughter was saying, they could repair this relationship, but it's not looking likely right now. Instead, he's just trying to act like it's a soap opera, like I was saying, and he's talking so surface level that I can tell he's not really listening to anything she has to say at all. This is just another moment for drama on this television show that he's so obsessed with being on at this point.
One thing that I definitely wanted you to know is that you were and are and have always been the love of my life.
You're the love of my life. You're my daughter. You mean everything to me. That's why I went against your wishes when it came to visiting Rose and embarrassed our family on television, all while blocking you from my life completely and making you think I hated you the whole time. It's what parents do. I mean, really, that's what Ed should have told her if he was being honest. He just thinks that he has this charm that can win the heart of anyone. But dude, this is your own kid that currently hates your guts. Try a better approach than the lies that you're continuing to spew out, because we can all see right through that. How about you fully admit your mistakes and admit that she deserves to feel the way she's been feeling, instead of invalidating her and telling her that you don't get why she's mad. Once again, Ed is unable to think of anyone but himself. He's a serial narcissist, so I guess that's what made him so great on the show, but really it does bum me out when you realize these are real people's emotions that he's playing with. Yo guys, before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works.
And we have such a great foundation. And I did realize, well, I just probably flushed that all down the toilet. And that's what scared me the most.
Ed, if that scared you so bad, why did you still go for 3 weeks and didn't talk to your daughter at all during that whole time? There was almost a month that you were over there embarrassing yourself on TV left and right, and she just had to sit in the dark wondering if you were okay or if you even went, since you weren't filling her in on your life at all and you just blocked her out. I get that you were salty about her not believing in this love that you thought was existing but didn't, but don't lie to her face about the fact that you cared about her, because you didn't at that time. If you really cared about how she felt about this whole situation, you would have listened to her in the first place and not gone at all.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry for not listening, to you. And the fact that I hurt you.
I appreciate that.
At least it sounds like his daughter doesn't completely hate his guts like I was saying earlier. I guess that was a bit of an overstatement. This is definitely something that is embarrassing for her though, and I think when this show comes out, because obviously when they filmed this, the show had not been edited fully, she is going to really understand why everyone is kind of annoyed with her dad, and she's going to be very embarrassed. But I hope it's not bad enough to where they just stop talking at some point, because everyone deserves a good relationship with their own parent if they can have one. Sometimes that's not possible, but I think Ed needs to take a step back and really think about what his priorities are right now, because his actions currently could make or break his relationship with his daughter for the long run. And I mean, sadly, it looks like he has not been able to leave this persona that he's been putting on during this show now that it's been airing. His fame has only grown, and I think his ego has as well, and it's getting to his head worse than ever, to where he can't even empathize or feel bad for his own daughter for hating him.
I really want to focus on putting my relationship back together with my daughter, but I have no regrets.
So I guess Ed found a bit of a happy medium there in the end. He's happy that he at least went and tried it out, even though it was against his daughter's wishes, but now it sounds like he's really trying to patch things up with her since he can at least be mature enough to realize how important that is for him. It's hard to get a good relationship back with your kid once you mess that up enough and you're possibly driven out of their life, especially once you're both adults. It's way harder. So to wrap up this episode, they have this talking head shot of Ed basically saying about how he just wanted love, and once again I gotta say, it could have been there for you, but you did everything in your power to make it not happen, Ed. You really gotta look inside yourself when it comes to this stuff. It's one of those situations where you gotta think how you're the common denominator in all of these relationships that aren't working out in your life. Ed just has to realize that he needs to change his ways and the way that he treats people if he ever wants a shot at happiness, or true happiness at least. That's honestly the best message that you can take away from this story, and I think we could all apply that to our own lives. Guys, I know the world is insane right now and there is a lot to be angry about, but let's try and stay united and work on being our best selves in times like this. I believe in us. We can all do better than Ed has done, or better than a lot of us are doing currently. Anyways, guys, that about does it for today's video. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out.